Hello, let's take a look at LEGO's Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. Yes, they spell it all the way out. Dr. Octopus Mech Battle Set. The whole premise of this set is really nice and simple and pure and good. It's just a 2-pack of these mechs that they've been doing for a while now with the Mixels ball joints and all the needed articulation. The Spider-Man one actually has a nice print for the chest. I'll have to show you that up closer, but I wanted to give you just a general idea of what's going on for the overall shape of everything here. The Web, Blast, and Splat pack for this set comes with the trans clear but frosted color. So rather than going with the white that they did first, they've got that surface texture on there. So when they use the clear resin in it, you can still see it. You know, it's kind of a milky, I don't know, I think it just looks pretty appropriate for what it's trying to be. I think that it's a cool color combo to do. Color and texture, that is. There's that printed piece. Look at that. That's pretty cool. The Doc Ock one does not get prints, just gets stickers, but I mean, if you're going to give prints to one of the mechs, I think, or one of the characters in this set, definitely want to give it to Spidey. So, you know, he's got the shoulder articulation, elbow articulation, the fingers. There are only 4 of them in total on each side, but those are able to move independently. There's one of the web blasts that does get attached in there pretty well. And then you're also able to rotate at the hips a little bit. You've got the thigh or hip articulation on the ball joints, the knees, which are also on ball joints, so those can move in and out, and then down at the legs or at the feet, you've got the ankles that can move around. And unfortunately, the feet here, they're just so thin, and being just one piece at the base for the sole, one hard plastic piece, you don't get as much friction or as much traction with these, I think, as some of the other designs when you're on a hard surface. So watch out for this one. Doing the splits inadvertently. There we go. just kind of happens naturally. Again, just on a perfectly hard surface. So again, with the articulation, just to demonstrate it, you know, you can move at the waist pretty well. This looks very athletic. I like the overall shaping of the whole thing. The shoulders are able to move around. You got a couple of these boosters on the back, which the pauldrons can get caught up on. Just kind of keep them facing a little bit more towards the rear, and then you won't have that problem. Also, you've got room for the shoulders to go up, or the shoulder joints to be moved farther than they would naturally, but those pauldrons can get out of the way there. So this can go up there, you can go all the way down. This goes all the way forward. You got the ball joints for the elbow. So whichever way you want to move the arms there, you can go this way, or you can go up and down. The fingers, you know, can kind of grab things in. You can make more of a pointing motion with these hands as well if you want to have just that index finger out there. See, that actually works just like that. You know, even though there is clearly a finger missing here, that works. And then with the legs, you know, you can do unnatural things with the legs, which is, you know, better than being limited. This one is limited right now just a little bit by the accessory piece that is attached onto it, but I can do it like this. And then let's say, yeah, something like that. So, I mean, this is a terrible pose, and yet I can make it work, you know? That's kind of what I want to see out of a mech. I want to be able to just set the joints, flatten out the feet, and just let it go. So these work well. Doc Ock gets a lot more bulk, obviously, and a lot more of the pieces, but it didn't take that long to put this one together. All of his decorations for his mech are done with stickers, so I'll show you the sticker sheet later. The green color there is just the regular green. The yellow is Keat Orange, or flame yellowish orange, or flame orangish yellow. I think that's a really good color scheme. The color blocking, you know, the relative proportions and positions of the different colors, I think all that is done pretty well. The arms here don't have as much articulation as I expected. I expected to be able to move these all around in all sorts of different ways. Sorry about the shaking there, just kind of balancing just a little bit. But this one does not have the foot traction problem. You got wider bases there, and also using multiple pieces means there's more chance of just little micro connections made with the ground, little chemical connections and physical connections that just make it basically not slip as easily, even though there is quite a lot of weight up here on this one. I like the few rounded elements. Like this is just a pleasing shape to me. I also used some dishes up here and just around the waist. That looks nice and I think works well with the waist articulation there. You have the same general articulation here, but there are some blocking pieces to ensure that things don't go as far. So it's relatively limited, and that's to avoid having this do the splits quite as easily as it might have without those, with as much weight as it has, because this one definitely weighs a lot more than the spider one, but we're using the exact same joints, so that's the reason for limiting those. This has essentially the same hands, the way that they're done, so again, just 4 fingers in total, 3 fingers and thumbs. These don't work as well as I expected because all of the joints are limited to just motion on a single axis, so these will go forward and back at each, so you can do some things that are interesting with them, and then the fingers are able to open and close just fine. Like that's a good look. This can also be rotated around, like so. It's a little bit stiff there, but it can be rotated around. However, you cannot take these arms and then rotate them. Like I can't twist this side to side. See, that's fixed down to the axle connections right there. So I can't rotate these around. I can't make them go absolutely everywhere. Fortunately, you do have enough arms here, so you can kind of have arms all over the place. But yeah, it's just not as articulatable as I personally expected. I'm not super let down by that. Like I said, these are all all over the place, but you're not able to reach too far forward with them at the same time. Like they don't really go much farther than the regular hands, the regular arms here. And that includes these ones that come over the top, which are only able to move, whoops, there we go. I was trying to force it. They're only able to move forward just that far. So only just past the chest there. You're not able to really grab an enemy of Doc Ock out front of him. So even grabbing Spidey, it's kind of able to I don't know, just barely. You got to get in really close. So it just doesn't have quite the possibilities that I would like to see here. It looks good. It's solid. It's not at all annoying to play with. The limitations keep it from getting completely out of hand to the articulation, how things move and all. It's not able to get itself all twisted up, but I wish that it could to some degree just to be able to do more with those arms. The Spider-Man in this set does get dual molded legs, so that's good. It's better than normal. However, it does have printed arms that don't look good. Printed arms, good. Printed arms like this, not good. They need to put some lighter color underneath or double up on the red or something. That is just not good printing. I've said this on, 3 sets, maybe 4 that have included that exact same torso with those exact same arms. I'm not going to change my feelings on that because that red for the arms should be the same as the head and the torso and the arms. So I appreciate the attempt, but the production is not good. The rest of it is very good. The head is fine. The opacity of the white for the eyes is good. The design, the graphic design is really good. Doc Ock, a little bit relatively plain with just plain legs and no arm printing, but his torso print I think is good. His face I think is good there, and this torso printing on the back is also good. I'd say that for both of them. On that, and there's the alternate face. Here are the few leftover pieces with just one part from the Web Blast and Splat pack not being successfully attached to Spidey's mech, and those were the stickers that were all used just for Doc Ock's mech. Now I paid $20 US for this, which is exactly twice the price of a single one of these mechs typically. So hey, what do you know? The price, the value actually looks pretty good because I definitely find the individual mech sets to be well priced for what they are. They give you a good value for a figure with essentially a vehicle. In this case, it's a mech. I do feel like these designs have reached their upper limit of weight. The most mass that can be reasonably accommodated specifically in the legs by these Mixel style ball joints. Any more than this, and they're just not going to be able to continue to hold themselves up. I think that even these right here, just as they are just at the limit. I think it would be better if they had even a little bit more friction, or if they had fewer pieces to have a little bit less mass up top. It's interesting just how the Spider-Man one feels easier to put into the splits than the other. But I do hope that they will think about that in the future, because these mechs should continue to be made. I think that kids love them. They seem to have sold pretty well. I think they are really good ideas. They can be extended to other specific franchises, other specific characters. Even if, some of the teens and adults look at these and scoff at how unrealistic they may be. Like, why does Spider-Man need a mech? He doesn't need a mech, just like he doesn't need a bike, and he doesn't need a buggy either, But the most important thing is that they be good toys. And I think that they are, and I think that they're reasonably priced. Let's just not make them any bigger until we come up with a different solution for the leg joints in particular. Otherwise, I'm happy here. Not happy with that printing, though, on the arms of the Spider-Man, but I've talked about that plenty in the past. I've done a pure build for this. I've got a speed build for it as well, so if you'd like to see either of those, check them out on their respective channels, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.